Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we've got to start collecting our Age of Sigmar Warcry video for you, and today we're going to be looking at the Daughters of Khaine and how we can start off our Daughters of Khaine warband using Morgwaeth's Blade Coven. Morgwaeth's Blade Coven are one of the many Underworlds warbands that has received rules for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry in the latest Tome of Champions 2021. And you can now use all these cool models with some brand new rules in the new book. With that said, we're going to go through exactly what we get inside this box set, go through all the characters, what they bring to the table, and then we'll look at some other models and units we can bring into the force to create a full warband for Warcry. At the end, we'll finish with a little sample 1000 renown warband for you to use as some inspiration, or indeed just copy our list if that's what you want to do at the end of the video. But to start with, Morgwaeth's Blade Coven. So first of all, we're going to get Morgwaeth the Bloody. This is going to be our leader option from the box set. She's pretty solid. 3 attacks, strength 4, 2, 5 for her damage. She's a little bit better than your generic Hag Queen, which is cool. She actually has, the extra damage on the 2-5 rather than the 2-4. And 22 wounds, so a couple of extra wounds on her as well. A defensive 3, all the same though. So she is pretty fighty, but she does lack that defensive qualities. We then have Khaine, who is our blood sister, or blood stalker, sorry, at the start there. 1-5 on her damage. She's 22 wounds as well. Defensive 4. She's pretty much one of the more champion. She's not quite a champion, but she's not also at the level of the other blood stalkers. She's a little bit better than your average blood stalker, which is pretty cool. And then we have Khaine, which is our Sister of Slaughter. Pretty standard sort of stuff for her. 3 attacks, 1-4 on her damage. And then we have both Krissa and Lethair, our 2 witch elves at the back, who are both the same sort of stat line. 4 attacks each, strength 3, 1-3 on the damage, 4 defense, and then 10 wounds. So the defense is pretty nice on them, getting them a little bit extra defense thanks to those armor plates on them, unlike the rest of the normal witch elves. Now, Morgwaeth's Blade Coven, we have the cool double ability called Daughters of the First Temple. We can pick another friendly visible fighter with the Morgwaeth's Blade Coven rune mark within 3 inch of this fighter, and so Morgwaeth uses this on her fighters. That fighter can make a bonus attack action. Pretty cool, just allowing us to get more hits. We're generally a bit of a glass cannon with the Daughters of Khaine and this, so having the ability to get some extra fights is definitely useful for the army. But what else can we bring into the force? I recommend taking a look at the Hag Queen first. Now, you will note that Morgwaeth does have the ability to use the Hag Queen's Witch Brew ability. However, obviously, she's already got her own ability, Daughters of the First Temple, that she's going to want to use. So it's generally a good idea to maybe think about bringing a second Hag Queen so you can use Witch Brew and Daughters of the First Temple at the same time, or indeed both in tandem, because you can only use one of your abilities on a fighter at any time, unless it's the last fighter remaining, of course. Witch Brew allows you to pick a visible friendly fighter within 3 inches of this fighter, and until the end of the battle round, you add the value of this ability to the strength characteristic of that fighter for attack actions with a range of 3 or less. Pretty solid stuff, just boosting up, being able to do this and then add on the extra bonus attacks is pretty sweet. So if you can sort of combo this, is really nice. We then probably take a look at the Slaughter Queen. She's got Orgy of Slaughter. Now, this is a quad ability, so it is a little bit hard to get off, but I really do like it. Until the end of the battle round, you add half the value of this ability, rounding up to the damage points allocated to enemy fighters by each hit and critical hit from attack actions that have a range of 3 or less. Made by friendly fighters while they're within 8 inches of this fighter. It's just a really, really good quad ability. If you can get that quad and get this off, like adding this to your damage for both regular and crits is amazing. Can really start to spike up that damage for your Daughters of Khaine, making those crits really powerful. Because Daughters of Khaine generally do have quite good crits. While they generally have quite low standard damage, they do generally have like something like 1-4 or 2-5s across a lot of models in the warband. Blood Sisters are next to take a look at. They've got the cool ability, first of all, where they're allowed to use their Heart Seekers, which is where they can use their ability to sort of do some extra damage with some of their spears, which is really, really cool. So the turn to crystal ability is pick a visible enemy fighter within 6 inches of this fighter, and you can roll 2 dice for each 4 or 5. You allocate a damage point for each 6. Allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of this ability. So some really cool extra damage punch coming out of them. And then they're also pretty solid fighters. 5 attacks, 3 for their strength, 1-4. Once again, that 1-4, that sort of really high crit value works really well with Orgy of Slaughter from the Slaughter Queen. And lastly, the Khaine Heartrender, I think, is a good shooting option for the army. Only 8-inch range, but you've got to remember they have 12-inch movement as well, so they can really sort of threaten a lot of stuff across the board. They're also a flying unit, which is really nice. 2 attacks at that range, strength 4, 1-4. Once again, just that really sort of low normal damage but high crit value. Defense of 4 and 10 wounds. Really solid, nice, super fast unit that can zip around doing some really cool sort of maneuvers across the battlefield with. And so here we have our little 1000 renown warband for you to have a look at the end. So Morgwaeth the Bloodied and a Slaughter Queen for our 2 heroes. Now we've chosen to forego the Hag Queen in this one. I think, you know, Morgwaeth, she can do both, but if we're trying to fit that Hag Queen in, perhaps we drop a Blood Sister and take maybe a Witch Elf instead and get that Hag Queen in there. Khaine is definitely expensive with that shooting attack. She does cost a fair amount of points. So maybe there are some other options for some ranged options available. You could definitely put a normal Bloodstalker in there for 165 instead of Kiri. I think, though, this is a solid little warband. You're going to get a lot out of that Slaughter Queen. If you can get an Orgy of Slaughter off, there's going to be a ton of damage done in a turn. The Blood Sister definitely gives us some good combat potential. 114 wounds is rather light on wounds, though. Once again, Daughters of Khaine just are very glass cannon style in Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, let us know down in the comments below what you enjoyed about it. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little fine community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. And lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel financially, you can do so by joining either our Patreon or YouTube members. Our YouTube members will get access to some cool little emojis you can use during live streams, and also to comment on some of our posts and on our videos with, and you'll get your name with a special little icon on it as well on YouTube. Our Patreons and YouTube members will also get a name up in a special colour in our Discord server as well. And finally, you'll get a shout out from us as well on Patreon or YouTube members at the end of every video that you have helped support. Thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Angu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, and James Cater. And a special thanks to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lockloric, The Johnny 84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Shelf, Adriana Edwards, and Sean Scott. And a special thanks to, first of all, Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you can see pictured here for the channel, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for the channel. And that's it from us today. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down on the video below. Stay safe, everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.